What's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Before we get going with the video, I would like you to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel and show me some love. Definitely appreciate every single one of you that have been commenting recently and supporting the channel through subscription and hitting the bell. It really does help out a lot. It allows me to actually film more content for you guys and give back to the subscribers and bring more value to you all through training footage and helpful tips and Q&As that are going to be coming on the channel on a frequent basis now, guys. So thank you so much. Enjoy the session, but first, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment below. Appreciate you all, and let's get after it. Game time. Welcome back, YouTube. Guys, those of you that are new to the channel, if you don't know, Eval, blood analysis. Eval has been amazing when it comes to supporting me with my health and my clients. So if you're not checking your blood work, I highly advise you visit Eval. They do a variety of blood work panels that cover pretty much A to Z. So anything that you may need or be concerned with, they have you covered. Now, I have been using them pretty much every 6 weeks. Since, when did you start, Sash?
4 years ago.
Since 4 years ago. So I have reference point with my blood work from Dave and Sash since 4 years ago, quite literally between like 6 to 12 weeks max. So this gives me reference point as to how my cholesterol has been changing or how my health has been changing. And to be honest, it stayed very much consistent throughout those years. If anything, my kidney health has actually improved when I look back at some of the markers from 2-3 years ago. So it's extremely important to get your blood work done. Now, secondly, Eval actually do offer variety of services like bloodlets, but also vitamin blood infusions, which I'm having today. So this has been making a massive difference. Now, about 5 weeks ago, I actually got an infection. I got pretty sick. And Dave and Sash came round to my house, sorted me out. And ever since then, I've been feeling absolutely on top. Now, next week, we are flying to Vegas. So I messaged Dave yesterday, knowing that he comes down to the gym end of every month. So if you are in Rotherham, end of every month, you can see them. However, they do have clinics all around the country. So all you have to do is get in touch, get booked in, and they'll get you looked after. But because I'm traveling next week, I wanted to get this done because I see the difference in me and how I feel having these done. Now, I have had my blood work done 4 weeks ago, so I'm not having my blood done today. But the next time I have my blood work done, I will also get that on the video and I will share my blood work with you as I have done previously, just to show you how you can manage your blood work if you work with people like Eval, Dave, Sash, and the team. So let's get it. I'm going to get the microphone here so that our lovely lady can explain what we have in our concoction. So, shall I break it down?
So it has
A to Z. Let's go.
Oh my god. We've got all the good vitamins.
Yeah.
B12, B complex, B6. We have magnesium. We have vitamin C, vitamin D. We have
Full shebang.
Yeah. Basically, it's one. We've just put everything in that we can put in there to boost your immune system and make you feel better.
So when you go on Eval's website, you can actually see all different packages that they do with these kind of services. So visit the site, pick what you need, pick what you want, and get booked in. Now, this definitely makes a big difference, especially when you live in the UK. Most people are deficient in vitamin D, and most supplements that you buy over the counter that claim they have vitamin D pretty much have barely anything in it, and they don't have any K2, and the bioavailability absorption of it is extremely poor. So when you have an IV with vitamins, that's the most bioavailable form of ingesting your vitamins you can potentially have, because most of these supplements that you can buy, again, most, not all, are not the best when it comes to absorption. So what it says on the label, you may be getting like a 1/10 of it. So you probably are taking stuff that you think is helping you, but to how much of a degree it's helping you, that's pretty questionable. Even what people forget, especially the guys who are using certain supplements, some of you, it depletes vitamin D3 levels as well. And living in UK where you don't get no sunshine at all at this time of the year, it's a double whammy, right? If you ever see a big shift in your ability to move more load, that is not true progressive overload. When you progress your lifts, the progression should be slow and controlled through either rep progressions or small load progressions, whilst maintaining perfect execution, or as close to perfect as you can, without your form breaking down. If you adjust position or change your execution to simply move more load or get more reps, you're creating less tension in the muscle, not more. So, body build, keep things tight, keep your form standardized. That is true progressive overload. Load with shitty form doesn't do much. One warm-up set. Why? That's all we need. We have just done 2 heavy working sets in the pull down. So every exercise we're going to now, one thing you'll notice is we may not even take any warm-up sets. Maximum warm-up sets we'll take now after the first exercise is potentially 1 feeder set. That's it. And the way it will look is we will pick weight that's either our working weight or close to our working weight. Do a couple of reps, leave it there, make sure we're fresh and ready to attack our working sets. That way, no energy is wasted, we're not pre-fatiguing ourselves, and we are fresh and ready to go to perform to our maximum of capabilities. Right down. Ten. So the principle behind Prime equipment and some other brands is that you can manipulate the resistance profile in each machine. So whenever I get to use Prime machines, specifically plate loaded, I keep my load the same throughout all 3 sets. Then all I actually do is manipulate the resistance profile, making it easier in the shortened range where you are the weakest, and making it heavier in the stretch. So the load actually stays the same throughout all 3 sets. It starts off more mid to lengthen range, then the load gets distributed a little bit more towards the stretch and a little bit less towards the shortened range where you are weaker. This way we are matching the resistance profile of the machine, the strength curve of the muscle, which can have benefits. Now that's definitely something that's for people that are a little bit more advanced. So once you've nailed down the basics, then you pay attention to small details like this. Write it down. The goal of any set that I do is taking my set as close to failure as I physically can without my form breaking down. If my form breaks down, to get more reps, that is training past failure, because if you physically cannot perform another repetition without having to use surrounding musculature. So for example, on a row, if you cannot perform another rep without keeping your attention on your back, and in order for you to get an extra rep, you have to change your execution, so you're pulling through your bicep, you're not training your back anymore. So there's a big difference between training to failure and then training past failure. So when I perform any set and then add set extensions like those 4 sets, again, the goal remains the same. We do not train past failure, we train to clean mechanical failure. There's a big difference. As I mentioned earlier here, 3 repetitions for a feeler set with my working weight. So now I'm going to be ready to attack my sets. Now, all I'm doing here is just priming myself for the working sets. I'm not trying to stimulate anything. This is literally just preparation for the big set that truly matters, which is the next set, the working set. Now, a question I often get asked by my clients is, how often should I change my exercises or training programs? And the answer is always the same. You want to make as infrequent changes as possible to your programming. The longer you stick at a certain lift, the better you get it, and you actually get more from it. So the last thing you want to do is come into the gym and do random exercises and chop and change them, because it takes time to actually get good at certain exercises, and better you get at them, more you get from them. Now, the same applies for your training split. The only times you should ever change a training split that is designed for you is when your physique needs change. So when you develop some amount of size and you might need a little bit more specificity towards different areas or different body parts that may need to come up, that is when potentially may explore changing a split. So in short, stick at your exercises and your training splits for as long as possible. Give them time to actually work. Chase progress, not novelty. When you chase progress over excitement of the shiny object, the shiny exercise, that's where you make most progress. Right now. Is that on? Take note, guys, lifting straps are king. If you are not using them, you are missing out, because it's simply impossible for you to be able to effectively train your back and take your steps all the way to failure without the use of lifting straps, because your forearm and grip strength is never ever going to be as strong as your entire back. So it only makes sense to utilize them, because ultimately the goal is building a huge back, not a forearm. If you want big forearms, train your forearms directly. If you want big back, train your back directly and use lifting straps. Called Kuba hard body. Right down. Flat. Yeah, flat. 2 sets left for back. Now, 1 set of chest squat shrug. I've covered this many times. It's by far my favorite variation of a shrug. And then 1 set of a single arm pull down. That is a version from my good friend Cass at N1 Education, N1 Training. It's called the iliac, the single arm pull down, which is a tremendous variation of a pull down. To finish off on, for me, specifically needed to bring up my lats. Now, because Mark really needs to bring up his arms, he has extra bicep work. I have less bicep work to accommodate for an extra set of pull downs. If we were to add on a super set of pull downs for Mark, it would then take away from his arm work, which is realistically still a priority, while still trying to build everything else, because he still needs to be big everywhere, with some specificity on his arms. So when it comes to program as a whole, you can still have a program where you aim to build everything, and you can still sprinkle some specificity to target your weak areas. And this is where push-pull legs can be beautiful, because you can manipulate push-pull leg split into distributing volume towards your weaker areas while still trying to grow everything, which is, in my opinion, the king of splits, if you know how to program it correctly. Right now. Makes a difference not having a rest on that. Exercise selection plays a massive role. However, where you actually place your exercises also has a massive impact on your training performance and your ability to progress your lifts. So there is certain exercises that will not allow you to get the most out of certain movements. So for example, whenever you go into a rear delt exercise straight after a row, your rear delts are already pre-fatigued. So for me, my preference is to actually do biceps first, then go into my rear delts after giving them a little bit of a break. Now this way, you can actually get more out of your read out work. Another example of this would be doing a chest exercise that's extremely heavy in the lockout, and then going into another exercise that's heavy in the lockout. The likelihood of being able to progress that second exercise is slim because you're already exhausted in this range after doing that exercise first. So the exercise selection, but also exercise order, is huge when it comes to long-term progression. Get it? Right guys, so setting up single arm preacher bicep curl. You actually want to stand with your working foot right in front of you, keeping your body weight on this working side leg. So if you're working with your left arm, keep your body weight on your left leg, then drive your arm through and place your upper arm right on the pad so that you can actually see your armpit dug right into the top of the pad. This way, your whole upper arm is sitting flat against the pad and you can actually brace into it, driving your elbow and upper arm down as you are contracting through. So I like to keep a slight bit of flexion at the wrist. So the slight bit of flexion at the wrist allows me to get more of a connection with my bicep, and I always feel like I can actually contract much harder with that bit of flexion at the wrist. So once I get the position, I use my non-working side arm as a bracing point. That way I can create more stability, really driving my elbow down as I'm curling through, contracting hard at the top, spending a little bit of time there, and then as I'm coming back down and in, again, I'm resisting the load down rather than dropping it down, controlling the eccentric, taking a pause, and then again contracting my way back up, whilst maintaining my posture, the bracing points, and maximizing the stability of the exercise through having this pad here to brace into. Now, use single arm preacher curls and get massive bicep. Right now. Right guys, that is a session wrap up. Tremendous session. I am getting closer to needing a deload because my body is sore, but we have to earn the right for that rest. So until then, we will keep going until quite literally the wheels fall off. Tremendous session, great progression across the board, and very much enjoyed getting stuck in today and sharing the session with you all. Hope you enjoyed it, guys. Any questions or anything you want to specifically cover, please comment below, and I will actually get it in our monthly Q&A on YouTube, just for you guys. So guys, thank you so much. I'm going to take my unwind now from trainedbyjp.com, code Kuba10, get yours. and get rested and head home and go to sleep very, very soon. This is why I've actually got my blue light blockers on, because these go on every single night before bed. Again, blue light blockers are a massive game changer for improving your sleep. And again, better the sleep, better your recovery. So you've got to make sure you utilize all the tools that you can. And for me, these are a massive game changer because I am staring at a screen majority of the time of coaching. So wearing these really does help me improve my sleep and, more importantly, fall to sleep. So guys, thank you so much. Peace out. Take care for now.